The palace of the Luminary Kingdom shimmered under 3 pale suns' princess. Leora walked through its crystal halls with the quiet confidence of someone raised in splendor. Her world was carved from starlight and order. Nothing unpredictable existed within its borders. At least, that was what she once believed. Her marriage had altered everything in ways she struggled to define her husband. A human named Aaron seemed completely harmless when she first met him. He was polite. He was calm. He was patient in every conversation. He offered no threat to anyone among the towering warriors of her species. He looked almost delicate with his unassuming stance and quiet smile. Her people whispered that the alliance with Earth was unnecessary. They claimed humans were backward. They believed humans lacked power. Leora sometimes wondered if they were correct. Aaron appeared gentle to a fault. He never raised his voice. He never argued. He moved with a softness uncharacteristic of her kind. In her eyes, he was many things, but dangerous was not one of them. She enjoyed his presence. His curiosity about her culture amused her. His questions were simple yet sincere. He watched the stars with her each night as if they were new. He laughed at small things. He treated the servants with kindness. She admired that although she never admitted it aloud, still she could not ignore the feeling that something lay hidden beneath his calm exterior. It was a sensation she had no words for, a tiny flicker at the edge of her thoughts. She only understood that Aaron's silence was not emptiness. It was something else, something she had not yet seen. The first shift came during a meeting of the Royal Council. Representatives from a rival empire had arrived. Their leader, a broad-scaled being named Korath, insulted Earth openly. He called humans fragile. He mocked their short lives. He claimed Earth had nothing to offer the galaxy. Most in the room chuckled. Aaron did not. He smiled, but there was no warmth in it. It was the first time Leora felt the strangeness around him sharpen. He spoke only one sentence in return, yet every being present went quiet. There was weight in his words, a gravity no one could identify. Even Leora felt the air shift. She watched Korath shrink back. A leader who had stared down warlords now lowered his gaze like a scolded child. Aaron simply resumed his seated posture and listened to the next discussion point. He looked as harmless as ever, but the room felt colder. That was the first moment Leora realized that Aaron's gentleness was not weakness, it was restraint. And restraint only existed where true power demanded it. But she still did not understand the extent of that power. Days later, tensions across the galaxy increased. An old enemy of the Luminari returned. The Obsidian Legion, a fleet known for reducing worlds to dust, appeared near the borders. Reports flooded in describing their unstoppable advances. Entire civilizations begged for aid. All claimed they had no chance. The Luminary Council gathered to prepare an evacuation plan. Even they believed they could not win. Leora listened in fear as messages arrived one after another. The Legion was getting closer each hour. Panic gripped the kingdom. Aaron stood quietly at the edge of the chamber. He looked like an observer. Rather than a participant, Leora approached him. Seeking comfort, she expected him to offer soothing words. Instead, she found him unusually still. His eyes were focused on the holographic map of enemy movement. Aaron asked for permission to speak. The council granted it absent-mindedly. They expected nothing useful from him. He was only a human. After all, he suggested a plan so simple and direct that several council members laughed. They dismissed it at once. They argued it was reckless. They claimed no human could understand the scale of galactic warfare. Aaron accepted their rejection without complaint. He bowed his head politely. He walked away with that same soft step. Leora wanted to ask him what else he knew, but he remained silent. He only promised her that everything would be fine. She did not believe him. No one did. Hours later, explosions echoed across the sky as the Obsidian Legion entered the system. Their massive ships blotted out the light of the suns. Cries erupted throughout the kingdom. Defense forces scrambled to form any resistance they could. It would not be enough. Leora ran to find Aaron. He stood on a balcony overlooking the initial assault. He seemed calm, far too calm for the chaos around them. She demanded to know why he showed no fear. Humans were not known for such composure in the face of annihilation. Aaron finally spoke in a tone she had never heard, held a firmness that made her heart race. He said he had given the council a chance to act. They had refused. Now another option remained. He told her to stay close to him, no matter what happened. Before she could ask what he meant, the sky flashed in blinding light, not from the enemy, from above the system. Dozens of colossal shapes emerged. They were ships, human ships, but unlike any Leora had ever seen in diplomatic visits. Their hulls shimmered like condensed storms. Their engines roared with thunder. Their scale dwarfed the obsidian. Fleet communications erupted across every channel. A command echoed from the lead vessel. The voice belonged to a human woman with a tone that demanded obedience. Her orders were precise. Her fleet moved like a single organism closing in for a strike. The Obsidian Legion fired first. Their blasts vanished before reaching human shields. Then the humans responded. Their counterattack was devastating. The enemy fleet fractured ships disintegrated under beams of controlled fury. The sky rumbled as if planets thundered. Leora stared in disbelief. She had never known that Earth possessed such technology, such firepower, such coordination. Nothing in her education hinted at this possibility. Her people had assumed humans lacked influence. Now the truth stood impossible to ignore. Aaron placed a hand on her shoulder. His eyes remained on the battle. He explained that Earth seldom revealed its strength. Humans preferred peace. They wanted trust before showing what they had built. He admitted he was part of a hidden defense initiative formed long before he met her. He apologized for keeping it secret. It was his duty. Leora struggled to speak. Her mind swirled with confusion and awe. She had always seen humans as kind and adaptable, but never imagined this scale of capability. She realized every gentle word Aaron spoke had been backed by immense strength, held in deliberate control. The battle ended within hours. The Obsidian Legion retreated across the stars. Human ships held formation. Like guardians, their presence radiated a confidence no other species had displayed in centuries. They had not only saved the Luminary Kingdom, they had changed the balance of the entire galaxy. Aaron requested permission to land a command unit. When it arrived, the Luminary Council gathered in shock. Human officers stepped out wearing armor that hummed with energy. They greeted Aaron with a level of respect that startled everyone. He was not an ambassador. He was not a simple spouse. He was a high-ranking figure in Earth's most secret military division. They called him Commander. The Council could barely process it. Leora's chest tightened as she watched her husband speak to them with quiet authority. His tone remained calm. His movements stayed gentle. Yet the weight of who he truly was pressed on every mind present. Aaron once believed Earth should not interfere with other empires. But the Obsidian threat changed everything. He explained that Earth saw the Luminari as true allies, the kind worth protecting. He spoke of shared futures of cooperation built not through fear, but trust. The Council accepted his words with trembling voices. Their pride cracked, their assumptions shattered. Aaron's presence alone was enough to silence arguments. No one dared question the power behind him. When the meeting ended, Leora walked with him to a quiet garden. The sky still glowed from distant explosions. She looked at him with new eyes. Her husband, her friend, the man she once believed harmless. She asked if he had always possessed such influence. He admitted he had never hidden it intentionally. He simply wanted her to know him as a person, not as a commander, not as a symbol of human strength. He wanted her to love him without fear. She felt her heart shift. She understood him now. His innocence had never been real. It had been kindness, a choice, not a limitation. Humans chose peace because war was too easy for them. They restrained themselves because they understood their own power too well. She asked why Earth had stayed quiet for so long. Aaron explained that humanity had learned to cross. Many centuries that open power invited envy and conflict. They built their strength in silence. They waited for moments when it truly mattered. The galaxy had underestimated them, but humans did not mind. They cared more for those who treated them with respect than for those who mocked them. That night another message arrived. The Obsidian Legion was assembling again far beyond the system. Other nations begged Earth for support. Some offered apologies. Some offered resources. All offered submission. If necessary, Earth accepted none of it. Aaron clarified that humans did not seek rule. They sought cooperation. They believed every species deserved a chance to stand beside them. But humans would no longer hide their strength. They had proven there. Resolved the galaxy would learn to understand them, Leora watched her husband prepare for another mission. He wore armor that shimmered with the same restrained power she now recognized in him. He kissed her hand before leaving. He promised he would return. His voice carried confidence that soothed her soul. As he boarded the human vessel, she felt a swell of pride. She understood now why humans were feared by those who understood them. Not because they desired domination, but because they held. Incredible might wrapped in humility. When Aaron returned weeks later, the galaxy had